Finally, this morning, he demonstrates the influence of obedience. He demonstrates the influence of obedience. See, your obedience always influences how other people think about God. Really? Yeah. Throughout his life, Jesus reflected his relationship to God. But he also reflected his earthly relationship to Joseph. When the hero in the parable of the prodigal son was the father, I think we're seeing a reflection of Joseph. As a Christian, people take notice of your relationship to God. They notice it. And if you use the name of the Lord in vain, for instance, then non-Christians who hear that are going to think a lot less of God. Well, this is someone who claims to love God, yet they use his name in vain. But if you exhibit great love and respect for God, people will certainly take notice of that as well. And your obedience influences how others yield to the will of God. That's pretty heavy. That's a great responsibility. But when Jesus prayed, "Not my will, but thine be done," he was reflecting what he saw in the life of Joseph, who had obeyed God many years before, regardless of the consequences. Sure, we're going to mess up. We may even decide to live outside of the will of God for a period of time. And that will have its consequences as well. But God, like that father in the parable of the prodigal son, is always waiting for us to come home with open arms. And he's going to be the first to love on us. He's going to be the first to restore us. And that's the example that God sets for us in how we should treat one another.